On Friday, we talked about an anti-gay law in Arizona that's so vaguely written that it legalizes any kind of discrimination. All you have to do is ban gays or women or other races or religions from your place of business, and as long as it's your sincere religious belief, then it's cool with the state. It's so vaguely written it would allow for all that stuff. Well, the bill passed the House, and then it passed the Senate, and now Governor Jan Brewer is deciding whether or not to sign it. There's actually a big push against it right now. I mean, there's moves to say Arizona shouldn't get the Super Bowl if they pass this. There's moves, even John McCain. I think John McCain and Jeff Flake, the two senators from Arizona, Republicans, conservative Republicans, said, no, we're against this bill. So I was shocked at that. I'm like, whoa, even they said that's too far. Even they think that's too Jim Crow-like and crazy anti-gay. So it's an interesting thing going on here. We'll know soon enough whether or not she signs the bill. But there's, in another form of protest, there's a restaurant called Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria. Now, to be clear, again, they're not in Chicago. They're in Arizona, but they're called Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria. And they decided to get involved, and they hung a sign, laminated it and everything, looks incredibly professional, that says, "We reserve the right to refuse service to Arizona state legislators." They also took to Twitter and said, "Funny how being decent is starting to seem radical these days." So you gotta love their cute response, man, but get this, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but then it struck me as I was reading it that I should talk about it because under the new bill, this would actually be totally legal. Now, that's not the actual purpose of the bill, and that's not why they did it, okay? That wasn't what they had in mind when they passed it. But again, it's worded so vaguely that if they passed this bill, that would be legal. It would be totally legal for any restaurant, including Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria, to say, not only are we not going to serve Arizona state legislators for being such douchebags, we're also not going to serve any deeply conservative families who are in favor of that law. We reserve the right, hey, because of the law you're in favor of, now you opened up the door, and I'm going to keep it real. I disagree with your lifestyle of hating gay people, and I choose not to serve you because you're a bigot, and I don't like you, so get out. So what you're doing, you're opening a Pandora's box to all kinds of, to treat everybody's irrational whim as if it should be legal. And that's a scary thing. We know what the world looks like when we didn't have these kind of protections, and we still don't for gay people, but especially back, we saw what happened with the civil rights movement and the women's rights movement, right? We saw what happened when all throughout Mississippi and Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, all these places, you would just have diner owners saying, I don't want to feed you, you're black, get the fuck out of here. Not interested. Get out. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay? And now you want to legalize that for gay people in Arizona? Don't do it. Look, we've seen, what was the story out of West Virginia? The guy who doesn't allow gay people, all these different people into his facility. Okay, all those people, they still exist. They still exist. They exist in the South. Some of them exist in the North. They certainly exist in Arizona. You don't want to legitimize those people. You don't want to say, hey, look, you are totally justified in being an irrational, immoral cunt. We're going to allow you to act like that. No problem whatsoever. You're allowed to feel like that, but when it comes to arbitrarily discriminating against people based on things they can't control, you're not going to get the okay from the law, nor should you. So I give all the credit in the world here to Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria for doing the right thing and standing up to the insanity of the Arizona Republicans.